What's up, world? It's your boss, International Zoe. And God was shining down on me today. My brother Ace. I look at my email. He's like, yo, I'm going to be at Sweet Georgia Cafe. If you want to do that interview, come through. And I was like, what?
Hold on. So the email, when you sent me that email?
Months ago. When you was in Asia or somewhere.
It was a year ago.
A year ago? Was that long?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was in Asia, in Thailand, and my channel was very small, and he contacted me to do an interview. Logistically, it didn't work out, but now we both in the same town, and I was like, you know what? I've been very iffy about working with people, but this guy right here has shown interest in me before my channel was even, doing big numbers. And so I gotta do an interview with you.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
It's this big for me, you know what I mean? And I was watching you because one, you inspired me. You were definitely one of the guys I was looking at, and I was like, okay. And I think the thing that really stood out to me was that made me be like a believer in you. When you was on that scooter in Asia riding in the dark, I was like, this guy is crazy. I was like, I would have been so. One thing people underestimate is that doing this type of travel YouTuber, we are brave souls because we go all around the world alone to the unknown. So that's a certain level of bravery that I know gets some people to not travel because they're afraid. How did you get that bravery?
No, I wanted to challenge myself basically, and my life. It hasn't been amazing. Like, there was a point in my life that was really amazing. I was making a lot of money. I was working a really good 9-to-5, and I messed it up. I messed it all up, and it went down a downward spiral till I had hit the bottom. And I always wanted to travel. I never had a passport, and when I finally got a passport, because a friend of mine was getting married, he was marrying a Canadian woman, and I was one of the guys in the wedding, so I had to get a passport. And I was like, no. Once I arrived in Canada, and I saw that Canadian flag, I was like, wow, it feels good not to be around I feel like a system that I was under all the time, which was America for me. And so I was like, yo, I want to continue to feel this way. So I started traveling to other places and stuff like that. And I was doing it by myself. And it was like challenging myself how I was going to survive. Just by myself,
right,
without the emotional support, perhaps maybe not being a popular tourist destination.
Right.
But it felt good. It gave me a great adrenaline. So that day,
that fear is almost adrenaline mixed with adrenaline.
Yeah.
I know the feeling.
Yeah.
I know the feeling. So you were inspired to travel. Where did the part of YouTube come along? Was it your own thought? Because some people say a friend told me, suggested it.
No, it all felt like I was always a YouTube fan. I watched a lot of different content creators, and I'm into big anime. If you watch my channel, I like anime and stuff, so I like watching reviews of anime. And so I saw people living their lives just doing that. I saw one guy who was probably the biggest inspiration, named Tyrone Magnus, right? Tyrone Magnus, I saw him move from a studio apartment, from a studio all the way to a house. And I was watching him before he hit 1 million subscribers, and I saw him doing it and being so consistent. I was like, yo, this guy is actually. I should say, yo, this guy's actually made some form of life doing this. He's not working, you know what I mean? Because he uploads every day, but he uploads multiple times. And I was like, yo, let me just put my bid in. This is something I don't know how long you thought about becoming a YouTuber. And then you just took a while and then say, you know what, let me just do it.
Yeah, I know that feeling that I had my channel for a while, but then the opportunity came where I actually do what I intended to do with the channel, that's why I named it Barber World TV.
The world part.
I want to travel the world as a barber, and I do my little barber thing, check out my barber shops, cut a little hair. But I probably had the channel 5 years before I actually started really using the channel.
For me, I had started the channel. I was doing a lot of anime reviews, and I kept getting a couple copy strike. This is around the same time I got my passport, so I was also filming that. Shout out to Snapchat, right?
That's
Snapchat.
taking me back with that.
So Snapchat really, that was when Snapchat was really popping. So I would go traveling and I would Snapchat my travels. And when I did that, I was like, wait a minute, let me download this Snapchat and hook it up a little bit and upload it on my anime review. I noticed I was getting a little bit more of attraction from that.
Wow, I didn't even know that part of the story.
Right, and then I was like, I've never probably mentioned that, but I have videos. It's just Snapchat based. Like I probably just made it look like it was something else, but it was from Snapchat.
Okay.
And so I like that. I like just sitting down, creating something. Mind you, like I said, I was still at my low point, but I felt a lot better about myself because when I started traveling, I was like, wow, I'm living a decent life. Like, look where we at right now. You know what I mean? It doesn't take nothing to sit here and do what we're doing here. Meanwhile, this could be Rodeo Drive, and it'll be very expensive to do this.
Not only they're looking at you funny.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So for me, it was like, I'm loving this, and then I'm sharing this, and people are interacting. But there was a day when I said I'm gonna like take this seriously.
Okay.
Right?
When was that day?
Well,
what happened around?
There was a couple of things that spiraled into that. One was I invested in buying a laptop because for the most part everything was done off the phone, and I just went to the pawn shop, got me like a $100 laptop just so I could edit something. Still, I keep all my laptops. I still have that old laptop, and I was like, okay, this is where I start, and from there. I came here, I was traveling here, and I met expats, right? I met this one guy named Steve who was actually living here. He's in some of my videos, and he proposed to me like an idea of me working for him, right? And making some decent money living out of the country. And I said, well, you know what? That might help me with my channel if I'm here doing it.
Right.
Because then I could be in Colombia long enough and I'll have income coming in because my channel was not monetized at the time. And so, well, it was monetized, but it wasn't making any revenue at the time. And so I said, all right, let me do some research. I came back a couple months later to see Steve, to see his operation. Basically, he was doing dry calls or something like that.
Okay.
Where you call people up and everything. And I was like, at first I was trying to figure out, like, I mean, listen, if he was to call me with the package, I would be like, yo, for real? How much I pay? You give me all of this? So, but at the same time, it's like, I'm not really a dry call. Shout out to those who are into that.
Right.
But I'm not that individual. And so I still, in my head, it still made sense for me to still move out of the country and just focus on becoming a content creator. And so I was working at a job that was in transition of getting a raise and being put in the management staff.
Right.
But for some reason, I was dealing with the wrong people who thought differently. So basically, some people didn't want me to
hated on you, basically.
And so they put me in I was in a warehouse working with glass and everything, very hot conditioning, everything, and they put me in another warehouse and they put me in the worst job you could work, right? Mind you, I was already in somewhat of a higher standard job, but they put me in one of the worst physically demanding positions that you can work in the whole factory.
So basically, like, they demoted you.
They kept me with the same pay, but they made me work with other people. And I mean, I'm a homo guy. Whatever, let's do it. Right. And they made me work more hours. So this position, you have to work more hours. So it's like, okay, I guess they felt like making my job harder, I would eventually quit or slack off or give them a reason for them to fire me.
Okay.
So I just looked at it as God doing his thing, because during that time, you're giving me more hours. In my head, I want to leave. You just confirmed that for me. So I just worked 12-hour shifts, six days a week, and just stacked up my money. I had some money saved, and then I eventually went and resigned from my job.
And sometimes those things are blessings, right?
Look, right now, I can we were just talking about it. He's going to be in one of my videos, and we were just talking about how I feel like every time I wake up, it's a dream. What am I? You know what I mean? This is what I made my life into as far as work is concerned. You know what I mean? And it's never right now. It's good, and I know there could be ups and downs when it comes to doing jobs like this. You know, remote type of work and stuff. Nothing is guaranteed. But for what it is now, I'm happy. I'm content. If everything was to stop now, I'd still be happy and content because it's like, yo, I did this.
You did something. You made some history.
Yeah.
You made history.
For me, it's. Well, I wouldn't say I made any history.
You did, brother.
I feel like
you did.
I feel like I did something for myself. You know what I mean? I believed in myself. That was one thing I could tell anybody that's watching. If you get from this interview, it's like it may not be clear wherever you're trying to do. It might be foggy or the vision or whatnot, but you want to do it. Just know if you keep up at it, it's eventually going to happen.
And you believe in it.
Exactly.
If you believe in it, stick with it. That's what I would say.
Yeah. And I know I could be rambling on.
Yeah.
I may just get the time to talk.
You made history because it's on top of everything else. It's documented.
Yeah. And I save all my videos,
right.
man,
Everything
just in case.
you have is documented, and you can put it on your own website or another platform. You have me too. I got stacks of portable drives.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm about to back up those stacks.
Oh yeah, just in case. Okay, I got you.
Right, but that's the way it is. And I discovered you first in Colombia.
Okay.
I don't know what you might have done before then or not, but I started watching you in Colombia, and I was like, okay, you know what I mean? And you had the ladies and you was never hard with that content, but you had enough to keep people engaged a little bit and watching. I was like, okay. But then when you started moving around, I was really getting impressed.
When I went to Asia.
Yeah, when you went to Asia, I was like, and you was talking with the people, eating all kind of weird foods. You was out at weird hours of the day and stuff. So I was like, wow, that was really inspirational to me. And I watch you grow, you know what I'm saying? I watch you grow, and then you come back here and you get stuck here during quarantine.
I can't make none of that up, yeah.
And then I learned that from you, like maybe if you stay in a place for a while, it really helps your channel because you kind of become the authority there, and people watching you in their day-to-day life is important. So I kind of like, okay, I'll watch that. So I'll stay a place like a month. Mm-hmm. And I'll watch the growth of my channel just from staying in one place for a month. Mm-hmm. You know, so what have you learned? Maybe tips you could tell some people.
I'm glad you brought, and thank you for watching me when I went to Asia, because sometimes that's not what a lot of people are interested in. That's cool. But when I went to Asia, that was like training day for me, because I have a little advantage in Latin America because I can speak and understand some Spanish.
Right. How did you do that before you move on?
Well, I'm from Miami, and so we have my neighbors. They spoke Spanish, and I mentioned it before, but I'll say it here because a lot of people ask me 1,000 times. Hopefully they hear it here. Okay. I actually went to a Spanish church when I was young. Right?
Okay.
My neighbors were from Nicaragua, and I would always play with my homeboy, Jose. And so Jose was like, we went to his auntie house. I said, all right, I'm going to go with you, blah, blah, blah. And I started playing with his cousins and everything. One day his auntie had church there. I was like, well, I didn't really think nothing because I'm coming from a Haitian background. Like having church at home is something normal. I've seen that before. Okay. And then eventually the auntie actually moved into a location so that we all had to go there, after playing around, and one thing led to another. Next thing you know, I'm a member in the church. This is going on for years. Oh. And when you're sitting down and someone is translating words to you for years as a young child, it's easier to register those words. Yeah, and then because I some of the Creole words, I use words associations, and so that's how I was able to speak Spanish. My Spanish was a lot better when I was younger. Mm. And then, as you grow older, you do your own thing and everything. Right. But because of those experiences, I'm pretty good at Spanish. Well, I can survive. The key is I can survive. My Spanish is not the best, and I understand it. But yes. I've proven that my Spanish does. I don't need any more help.
Get you where you need to go. Do they? Like, I get guys now because they see me in Latin America a lot. They be like, come on, man, you got to get your Spanish up. Your Spanish is horrible. So I hired a tour. This is my trip here.
Okay,
and I'm
cool.
gonna work with the tour to continue with it.
Yeah.
Did you get that kind of feedback? People
No, I get that all the
criticizing your
time.
Spanish?
I get that all the time. And to be honest, it's right now.
And I'm like, yo, Ace speaks good Spanish.
well, we all know what good Spanish is, but like,
For me, though.
yeah, I get it all the time, and I understand, and so it's cool. Like, but for me, it's like I don't have the time to sit down and
Busy.
You're too busy. You know what I mean?
It's too late now. You're creating content.
And besides, so like just to backtrack, when I went to Vietnam, I didn't understand the language there, and so I had to figure out a way to maneuver from there. And like all that stuff I learned when I was in Vietnam, Thailand, it really helped molded me to how I was gonna approach coming here. Right?
This is your training day, you said.
It was training day in Asia for me.
How many countries or regions did you go to while you was out there?
Well, I want to say more. People may think, and this is why it's so important for me to leave Colombia now. I'm getting ready to leave because I want people to really identify me more than for Colombia. I want them to know I'm an actual travel channel. I actually want to see other places.
Right.
And so I went to Vietnam. I spent altogether around 3 months in Vietnam, going to different cities, bouncing to different cities. And then I went to Thailand, and I spent 4 months in 2 different cities. First one was Pattaya, which is a crazy town. You've been?
Yes.
All right. I was there 2 months, and it was a very interesting situation because I was able to live in a very nice apartment for real cheap, and the YouTube revenue was taking care of that. So that was like, yo, granted, it was like not a lot of YouTube revenue, but it was like, I'm able to live here. I'm able to buy me some food. What else do I need? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so there, and then I went to Phuket, which was even
I didn't get a chance to go to Phuket.
I love Phuket, man. I love it.
I know.
I love it, man. I love Phuket because of it, the mixture of people, because you're going to get your Thai people off top, but then you're going to get a lot more tourism in there, and you're going to meet a lot of different personalities that just wants to have a good time.
I saw you on the beach and the other little activities they had there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was, and you can live real cheap, but be real happy, and I love those experiences. They're really dope. But all of that gave me some inspiration to when I came here, and I was actually in that route last year, but then the quarantine happened.
Right. Tell me about life here during quarantine.
Okay.
Quickly, the good.
This is life right here, guys. Look. You see this?
A fishbowl?
No, when I first came here, I was in last year, 2 days ago, mate, 1 year I was here.
Oh.
When I first came here, I was slimmer, right? But like quarantine here, man, it was tough. Each city ran quarantine differently. I was in the city of Barranquilla, and so they kept changing the rules as far as allowing people to come outside. And so for me, it was a tough situation, just from, being outside daily, filming, trying to create content. Now I'm stuck home, and the apartment I stayed in, the bed was close to the area I worked at. So you're talking about making maybe 100 steps a day, as opposed to when you're used to walking maybe 4,000, 5,000 steps a day, being outside. And the steps I was just making is from bed, table, kitchen, bathroom, bed, table.
Well, you made the most of that quarantine, because you inspired a lot of dudes to do some cooking videos. I'm gonna give you your props on that.
Listen. Yeah, listen. I'll say this, right?
I don't know if it was intentional or not, but you strategically made that work.
Listen, listen. Everything I record I rarely plan anything. Todo bien, hermano. Everything I do on my channel, majority is never really planned. It just
organic.
It just happened that way.
Mm-hmm.
So funny story was, my plan was to arrive to Colombia. When I said, okay, I'm gonna arrive and I'm gonna just bounce from one place to the next, kind of like what I'm doing now.
Right.
Now that the city's open.
Yes.
But so I started that. I arrived in Cartagena, filmed Cartagena, and I was on some crazy content at the time, real crazy, right? And I understand, right? So I filmed on Cartagena. I went to Santa Marta to film that, and then I went to Barranquilla. I already know Barranquilla. I filmed that. Around the time Barranquilla had a carnival. Beautiful time.
I missed you too. I was
You were
there
there?
too. But I didn't stay long. I only got to meet Flyboy. Shout out to my brother Fresh. Because somebody was with, they was like, nah, I want to go back to Cartagena. And I was there, I wanted to meet all the guys. Yes.
Oh yeah, it was
2 days.
Oh no,
2 days.
Flyboy had a good time.
2 days, yeah.
He had a very good time.
That's my dude.
He had a really good time. And then so we
did Carnival.
Carnival, I lost my book bag during the Carnival. Carnival had my camcorder. And I ain't gonna lie to you guys, I was filming the women, you know, with my camcorder from far away. It made it so easy, and it was really good content. It's what's the word? Not good content. I wouldn't say good content, but it was really popular content.
Yeah.
All right. And so I was like, okay, let's do this. But I lost the camera there, and then I lost my my debit card.
Damn.
Yeah, everything was in my book bag.
Oh, right. I know how sometimes you carry a lot of stuff in your book bag.
Right, so I had to stay in the city a little longer, and that's when quarantine caught up on me. While I stayed in the city, I always have like a backup camera, my DJI Osmo. And all right, I said, you know what? Let me go to this place. Crazy story. So, I like to, during the Carnival, I like to edit things right the next day. Right. That way the information is out there.
Consistent, yeah.
Because it was a Carnival, you want the footage to be available as soon as, the night is over. Right. So my laptop broke. Right? The battery died on me. And so this is before the Carnival started, so I had to go to like downtown area to find a place. I found a place while I was there. I was like, yo, this is a cool place to film. Right. So after the Carnival, after I lost my camcorder, I said, let me go back to that cool place to film. And I have my second camera. Right. Let me walk around that area. Right. So I ended up walking around that area, and eventually I met the Venezuelan girls by the church. Okay. Right? Good for you, everything and stuff. And I know that was going to be like, yeah, invite them to come cook. Come on. Everybody like, invite them to come back. So I did that. And it spiraled into a show right on time when everybody was home and they wanted something to watch. It was very engaging, but I had to cut that short, right? I saw the crowd getting a little bit too toxic.
They be there for the girls, you know how it is.
Yeah, but it was getting, no, it's cool to be, you could be there, but it's like, it was getting too toxic, and I was like, yo, do they know who channel it is too?
Yeah. So that's not what you're about.
Yeah, too. A lot of people didn't know who channel it was, and so I was like, all right, I can continue this route and just blow the hell up, right? Or I can cut it off for a while. So I cut it off for a while, but there was some other things I wanted to do more meaningful. Right. So my bad. So when I cut it off, it was like, you know what? Because we just donated to these girls and we helped them out.
I saw that.
We did a video where we helped out the cooks.
Right. I was going to get into that too.
1,400. And so we helped them out. And no, I did not. If you see those girls, and I can talk to you because I know the energy. Talk to the girls, ask them if I ever did, any little extra stuff. No, all right? They'll tell you no. All right. It
was on the up and up, as they say.
Yeah, just in case because I know how it could be perceived in certain ways. Because I think, when I made those videos with those girls, if for those who don't know what we're talking about, the cooking videos with
two sets of Venezuelan girls, though.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the second set.
Then you have the one from Palenque too.
Yes, we're gonna get to all of that.
Okay.
Right? We were gonna get to Palenque.
Okay, good.
Okay, so with the two set of girls in the beginning, they were really, if you watch those videos again, they were not really engaging in the content, but they were appreciative of being there because not only did we help them out, but anytime they came over to cook, I always gave them something. Right. More than what they were making, like big time.
They were like selling candy and stuff, I remember.
Candy and coffee, so me being there to help them out, they was, it's like, we ain't got to be out here in the street. Come on, cook some food and take it back home. Right. Yeah, because when they cooked so much food, I didn't eat. Like, I just ate my plate, and I told them, no, take all of that back home. Right? But the energy was getting too toxic, and I said, you know what? I don't want these girls to get self-dependent of me neither at the time. So I basically, I told the girls, like, hey, it's not really working, So it took me a lot to edit those videos. If you watch those videos again, you'll see a lot of non-engaging scenes and
everybody's not camera ready or friendly.
People were like, "Yo, I loved it," but you don't understand how much work I did to give you
cut it.
that product.
Right. To make it look that good.
Yeah, it was a lot. And with the other girls, it wasn't that hard. They was ready,
Bubbly energy.
bubbly all around, and they brought the energy. You go get some.
We went to that diving thing with them and all that. Like, they was fun. Period.
We gonna get into all of that. This might be a long video. You sure you want to do it?
I got 2 cameras rolling, so
Okay.
this one goes out, that one gonna keep going.
Okay, cool.
And I got a backup battery for this one. Hey man, we go always part 1 and part 2.
Cool.
This is Ace Live.
Okay, you can do it that way.
That,
all right. All right.